Howdy, 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 my beautiful Scorpio. How are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca, and we're going to be getting into today your weekly tarot reading, Scorpio, for the end of March 2023, getting into April, darling. All right. Now, I have your Celtic cross already pulled out here, Scorpio. So I'm going to tell you what is a little bit different about my tarot readings, right, than what you're probably used to on YouTube. My tarot readings, not only, yes, they provide some insight about some positive things that you are manifesting and creating at this time, but I like to go a little bit deeper. What is the good or what is the purpose, Scorpio, and hearing these messages, but not really knowing a sense of direction of like how to go from point A to point B to point C? What good is it knowing like what the point Z is going to look like if you're only around point A or point F, right? And so I like to try to provide you like the blueprint or like the general direction of where your spiritual team is trying to take you. So if that sounds good to you, darling, then let's just keep on watching then. So in your current situation right now, Scorpio, you have the Three of Pentacles, and then in your challenged position, the Seven of Pentacles. I see you in this place right now, Scorpio, of where you are about your money. All right, full disclosure here, Scorpio. I see like your financial situation, and just your life in general really stabilizing, but your financial situation really taking off, which I feel like is what is leading to a lot more stabilization in your life. You might have set the intention recently on just needing that extra inflow of abundance so you can take care of loose ends or take care of certain things, so then you can start building like the business or building on something, right? It's hard for you to focus on the future when you need to take care of like things that are really demanding your current attention here. And so I feel like for you right now, Scorpio, as you have been more and more about your money, you are not really having as much time for the BS, for the dramas of things, because you are just focused in on the creation process, Scorpio. There's nothing wrong with that there, right? You are in this place of just actively evolving here, right? Very personal. I feel like you've done a lot of personal shadow work, and that's why you have been put, like you're at this point right now, Scorpio, really being about your money and like stabilizing things in your life, because you have done all the personal work. And so now you're at this point where it's like, all right, I'm ready for the next step here. And so while you're ready for the next step, you're ready for the next chapter, Scorpio, I'm noticing there's people in your life that are not quite ready to keep up with you here. And I feel like that is creating some drama or some dilemmas in your life, because it's like, well, yes, there's certain situations, certain previous obligations that you have in your life, that you've had in your life, Scorpio. You know, you have this in one hand. On the other hand, you're trying to grow your business. You're trying to work on yourself and stabilize things in your own life. And all that's going on there, just the chaos of life in general and what's going on in this crazy world right now, right? And so it's like there's so many things that are going on. And I point that out because if you look closely at the Two of Pentacles, you're juggling two things, but then you have the crazy waves and, you know, the ships out on the ocean waves there. I feel like it has some relevance in your life, right? And so something has to give ultimately here, Scorpio. You with the Seven of Pentacles energy, you can only give so much. You have such limited resources that you kind of have to make a choice at what you're committing to, right? And so right now you're dealing with some resistance with the Seven of Wands here. There's so many like hands trying to grab at you, Scorpio. Like it's like you feel like a commodity where it's like, oh, like all these people want your attention, all these people are like bringing all this type of stuff to you. And I feel like there's like this frustration for you right now, Scorpio. Your oracle card for today is the Smoky Mirror, number 11, which is equating to 11 in numerology, which equates to the Justice card, that Libran energy, Scorpio. But the Smoky Mirror represents this sense for you of where I feel like certain people's true intentions, or certain situations or things in your life right now, Scorpio, are starting to be brought to attention, like the smoke and mirrors. Like you in April, there's going to be, without question, Scorpio, you'll know how to handle certain things in your life, because there's no longer the rose-colored glasses or wearing red glasses to cover the red flags. Like you are seeing the problems, you're seeing the situations face on for what they are. And so in response to that, Scorpio, it's really interesting to me, because it's like as you get, I've been noticing this theme for you where it's like you're getting a lot more and more comfortable, Scorpio, with your independence, with your own personal power and confidence really here, Scorpio. And it's interesting to me how people are really being threatened by that. Like how, it just doesn't, when you take a moment, just think about it for a moment, Scorpio, it doesn't make sense that it's like, well, you are doing this shadow work, well, you're working on yourself, well, your goals and your aspirations are just for you to evolve as a person, right? From your perspective, you're just evolving, you're growing. And then you have all these other people around you that are supposedly like your support system or just what have you, your environment that was supposedly good for you, now is weighing you down in some way. It's showcasing to you, like, without question, what you need to cut off. I feel like you are in this place, Scorpio, where you have to really truly, like, we hear it all the time, Scorpio, where it's like, oh, put yourself first, self-care, da 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 da. But truly, Scorpio, something that has really stuck with me is a video that I was watching where somebody said you have your dream right here, and then you have this situation in your life, like what would you do for like your loved ones, like your pets or what have you, like if someone was about to take away all of that, right? Like, what would you, if you could sacrifice yourself for that, like, would you? Probably yes, right? And then the person said, why is your dreams any different? Like, why would you sacrifice the greatest being, which is yourself, for the things that you love, the animal, your fur babies, the family, the friends that are like family to you? Why would you be so willing to sacrifice yourself for that, but not for your goals, not for your dreams, right? And I feel like you are finally now getting to this point, Scorpio, of where you are choosing your aspirations. You are actually choosing your dreams here, right? And so in response to that, you are covered in all this pentacle energy here, things coming to the physical reality in your life here, Scorpio. That was like always the missing key component for you, as simple as it is, because now that you're putting yourself first, it's not that you don't care about the world and humanity and the people around you. It's just that without question, you're going to do what it is that you want. And, generally, as long as you're a good person, obviously, without saying, like, what you're wanting to do is not going to harm anybody. It's just going to do more good for the world, ultimately, right? So you have to, I know certain people are going to see this, Scorpio, and probably people who are not Scorpios, probably like my cross watchers and stuff, but my true Scorpios are going to understand like the gray area where, it's what we're saying here, what we're agreeing on, it can be perceived as being arrogant and entitled and all this, when it's just like, I mean, if you want to put that negative scope on it, but it's just, if you have such a personal belief in just yourself and knowing that you want to just do good in the world, and just like you just need that chance, right? How often have we all thought about it's just like, this person has all these millions of dollars, they have billions of dollars, like, and they could just solve like world hunger just like that, right? Why don't they? And so I feel like for you, Scorpio, you need to have this relationship with yourself, this understanding where it's like, sure, it can come off as arrogant if we think about like being like, oh yeah, like certain things in your life that you are just deserving of, that you are going to have happen for you, and you're not going to settle for anything but, right? But because you have a deeper understanding of yourself, you've done the shadow work, you understand like you can want physical things in this world, and that doesn't make you any less of a spiritual person or any lesser of a person in general, right? And so as you have a more comfortable relationship with yourself, you're going to be able to be more confident, Scorpio, in what it is that you command, what it is that you're going to manifest, right? And so in your hopes and fears, you have the Six of Pentacles, hoping. You are at this place of where it just isn't enough. What you are giving to your energy, your money, your resources to, with people and in situations, like it just hasn't been enough. And so you are just hoping the next step for you, Scorpio, is a step towards self-sufficiency. I know in some ways it's kind of funny here, Scorpio, because this is very much so somebody who realizes they can only really rely on themselves, and they really only want to rely on themselves here, Scorpio, right? I know that's something that like some people would be turned off by and be like, oh no, we all are in this together, da 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 da. But I feel like for you, it's just like, maybe, but I kind of want to, before we have that team aspect, I want to make sure I'm good, right? That, kind of like how if you've ever flown before, Scorpio, how they tell you to put your air mask on first, right? If you see that and then you don't think any deeper, it's just like, oh, why would you put your air mask on first rather than this elderly person or this baby? When it's like they literally tell you that, make sure you're good so you can breathe. And as long as you trust that you would be willing to help other people, if you have the resources, the air to do that, you would be able to help put the masks on other air, oxygen masks on other people. Does that make sense? Put that in that perspective there, Scorpio. So you're a lot more unapologetic about this Queen of Pentacles / Emperor energy that you are ultimately stepping into. I really love your reading here today, Scorpio. So that's the tarot reading that I have for you. Hopefully something in here resonated. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and your rising sign. If you want a private reading, one-on-one reading with me, Scorpio, check out my website, simplyvelca.com, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, Scorpio.